Following the damage done by marauding herdsmen on farm lands and its produce in parts of Nigeria, not many Nigerians realized the consequences of this act until recently, when farmers and their families became subject to attacks by herdsmen who grazes with their cattle, a situation which led the Benue state government to enact a law in 2017 on anti-open grazing, the first of its kind in Nigeria, aimed at checkmating herders farmers clash. Correspondent Gabriel Odia takes a look at marauding herders and the anti-open grazing law. In Benue State, the activities of herders have become worse over the years as most farmers have been on the receiving end with the influx of herdsmen with their cattle into the Benue Valley, disrupting farm production, threatens food security and loss of lives, with the state of government now directing Security Council to enforce the law after the 14-day ultimatum given to herders or armed herders to relocate.
State governments issued a notice that the anti-open grazing law is still in force in Benue State. The 14 days which was issued as the ultimatum for armed herders to leave the state lapsed. Over the last 2 weeks, we have had a peaceful withdrawal of most of these herders from the state.
This news came cheery for most farmers in the state and residents as they expressed joy with the hope that this action will be for long, as they say most of the marauding herders are from neighboring countries except for those that want to ranch.
This herdsmen and farmers clashes in Benue State has given us a lot of setbacks. It is affecting us, our people, particularly even me, myself, I'm a farmer too. I went to farm. I know what I used to get from the farm. But currently, I cannot go because of the herdsmen. They have surrounded Benue State. You cannot go into your farm. So the government, the present government has done well.
Because some of us were the boundary area where these people are disturbing. So as these people came back, we were worried about it. We are not fit even to the transiting farm such as the cassava on the back of the river side because of these people. And this decision now, we are thinking that these people are going back is very welcome to the government.
The Fulani people, they came and they are not ready to listen. If they had come and they are not destroying, every other person is entitled to live anywhere in the country. But their problem is when they come with force. And now that they have not agreed, they should be repatriated. Some of them, they should be repatriated back to where they came from.
Over the years, farmers across Nigeria have one or more experiences to share. But in Benue, many farmers have lost their lives in attempts to defend their farms, as over 7,000 farmers have lost their lives and more than 2 million people displaced from their homes since 2007. But the Attorney General of the state says this time around there will be consequences if the law is violated.
Grazing prohibition and ranching establishment law since 2017 till today. The law is in force. That law has its consequences for disobedience of the provisions of the law. That the law is not against herding, against herders. What the law is against is open grazing. So what the law is simply saying, if you want to practice the business of grazing, you should ranch your cattle.
Troubles can always be fermented, even from the outside. Somebody could just come, even if they are peaceful herders, even if they have no troubles. But once they are roaming about, somebody or somehow troubles could emanate from that kind of situation. So I think it is best to ranch, and if they don't ranch, there are possibilities that these problems will continue.
The Force Commander of Operation Will Struck further assured that members of the security agency in the state will enforce the law, stating that from reports, many of the herders have started relocating except for those who might want to test the resolve of security operators in the state.
The grace period for the non-kinetic approach elapsed yesterday. And I'm assuring you, the security agencies, Operation White Stroke and other security agencies operating within the state will implement the full directive of the state.
With the Anti-Open Grazing Law of 2017 still in force, herders are advised to ranch their cattle to avoid clash with farmers in order to boost food production.